Yeah. All messages.
All right, welcome Cooking Conspiracy. Day kind of got away from me, but that's all right. Still Sunday night. We still got time for meal prep, so we'll just roast a chicken and call it good. And maybe we'll even make dinner for tonight. But we'll see. Let me adjust the camera and we'll get started here. Back her up a little bit. Winch her up. There we go. That's better. Still a pretty good tilt on it, but that's okay. Let's get prepped. Nice smooth strokes all the way along the shaft. Work the shaft. Work the shaft. There we go. I'll just get some remaining ingredients ready to go early. If you don't know where your peeler's at, this works just fine. There we go, that's fine. What's going on, Terry? Look who's early. Yeah, well, it was a lot earlier yesterday. Now this is just, I had a full day now scrambling for meal prep situation for the week. But it's alright. Got this little, not a gobbler, clucker, chicken, whatever we want to call it. Going on, Hockey Pro? How you doing? No, it's a chicken. It's a chicken, Terry. Jesus. What type of people celebrate Thanksgiving in April? Not that there's anything wrong with being grateful. Well, no shit. Tell me the difference between a chicken and a turkey when they've all been pulled apart. Oh, about 20 pounds. That's the difference. You want me to go get a Cornish hen, thaw that out, and throw that on there, and it's going to look like a chicken, Vegetables are ready to go. Actually, that's something to keep it moist. I'm glad to hear that, Hockey Pro. Are you actually a Hockey Pro, though? Well, shit. Call up. You got me, Terry. Let me call her up on the phone, say, hey, Miss Rhode Island, get your ass in here. Let me know how that goes. Reynolds wrap parchment paper. Use your protection here. What's going on, real deal? I'll do it. I'll do it. What's going on, Terrence? No, this is. Alright, so I got the chicken. I've already washed it off. Now you want it dry, so you're just gonna take some paper towels. You're gonna pat it dry inside and out. Give it a little bit of love. Not saying, you know, it needs to be dry as Mother Teresa or anything like that, but you definitely don't want it dripping wet. And then just, because if it's wet, it won't get nice and crispy. Fist it, that'll cost you extra, Terry. Is this what you want to see, you sick freak? If that's what you're into, I recommend you watch Big Mouth, Terry. There's an episode that involves a turkey that I think will really get you going. Alright. So with that being said, it's patted dry or whatever, we are going to oil it. Just some olive oil. We're not gonna go crazy. Rub it all in. Make sure to get it inside too. Rub it all up. There, you got a nice. You gave your chicken a good rub down, inside and out. Free flavoring. Yeah, I know. Whatever. I knew a bunch of weirdos would come out to see the penetration of a chicken. Yeah. So I'm just gonna season inside and out. I mean, it's hard to get the cavity, so I'm not gonna worry about too much. There you go. I guess I'm safe, real Terry. Salt, black pepper, and try to get the wing. You know, we'll get the bottom side of the wings when we flip her. We're gonna give it a little bit of chili powder, not a crazy amount. Some garlic powder on the outside. Oregano, sure, that'll be great. What do we got? Do we got thyme anywhere here? We do have thyme. Huh, that's one approach. And welcome back, Peter. Alright. Let's go ahead and flip it over and get the other side. And, you know, this is my meal prep chicken for the week or whatever, so I'm not super worried about getting tons of seasoning and tons of flavor and every piece, because a lot of the chicken's going to be reheated, reused, and other things, and you can always like flavor things. Huh. No, he's still doing basement pervert things, Rad. Salt. Make sure to get under the pits or whatever. Some black pepper. And oregano. I guess I better go get some more of that tomorrow. We're starting to run low. Yeah, shocker, right? Garlic powder on there. And a little bit of chili powder. Okay. And now let's see, what are we going to stuff it with here? We're going to break apart some of these onions. I'll give it some moisture, you know. Keep her moist on the inside. Handful of those are going in. pieces of celery, a couple pieces of carrot. In they go. Yeah, take that and like it. We'll give a quarter of a lemon. Nothing crazy. But there. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Let's see if I remember how to truss this. Okay. So that's kind of what we're going for. Oh, well, that's quite a reward there, Terrence. I'm sure there's a right way to do it, and if you want to know the proper way, just look it up on YouTube. But we're gonna go under, over. Now, if you know how to tie somebody up in the bedroom, this would be a great real life application. I mean, I'm not really into the John McCain role playing. Make sure you get the little stubby in there. Well, if you don't get the stub, it's not the end of the world. But you know, I mean, the real important part is to get the legs. Yeah. There. That's trust enough for me. Lasagna was excellent. That's very courtesy of you, Red. Well, it's trust, alright? It's good to go. Let's find a roaster. Put a little bit of oil in the bottom of that pan. That's a little bit too much oil, but good thing it ain't fancy oil. I got the oven preheated to 400. This is a 4-pound turkey. We're gonna do chicken. We're gonna do 20 minutes per pound. I don't know if you're supposed to do it at 350 or 400, but we're gonna do 400. We're gonna cover it for the first half of the cooking with foil, and then we're gonna pull the foil out about halfway. And while we're cooking the chicken, I'm gonna make my dinner, and then if we still have time, I'll, put some beans on the fry pan or something. So chicken goes in just like that. And I know a lot of people like the beer can method, and that's a great method, but yeah, we're not doing that. I need to move that phone closer so I can read the comments for this next section, but actually, I'll use our technology here. Alright, what are we making now? I just subscribed. Well, that's good, Terrence. We like you. Well, we like baristas. Baristas are cool. Yeah, possibly. That would involve some significant life choices, lifestyle changes, Terry. But, every once in a while it's nice to cook dinner for your boss. I'm assuming that's what you mean by make a guy happy. All right, what do we got going on? Mafia Mateus RP. Now, yes, Spanish. Yeah, well, takes one to know one. The guy. Did you hear that from the kitchen? Yeah, just spilled a little water, but put some pasta water on a boil. I mean, this ain't gonna be a rocket science meal, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be quick. It's gonna be easy. And we got an hour or so to burn before the chicken's ready for a food porn picture. So we're just gonna do an easy weeknight style pasta here. And if we run out of time, we'll figure out what to do. I don't know what the hell we'll do. Maybe we'll make crab cakes. I don't know. We'll see. Crab cakes for the boys or manicotti. I don't know. And I'll probably get one this week. Freshen up. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get this pan preheating. I got garlic here. I guess we got onion too, so might as well use that. Forgot to put the pasta sauce in the fridge last night, but I'm sure it's fine. It's store-bought, so it's got a bunch of bullshit preservatives in it. And also tomatoes are acidic as shit, so I'm sure it will be just fine. Now I did not stuff my chicken with instant potatoes. I stuffed it with carrot, celery, lemon, and onion. I am good, Justin. Welcome to the party, Ashley. How are you doing? I just put a chicken into roast, and now I'm doing I'll just call it a weeknight pasta. You'll see. And cut around the bad spot. That's what I love about onions is they're cheap, so you don't have to use the bullshit. I do want this finely diced though, so. probably more onions than I want. But that's alright here. Hey, what's up, Ace? Hamburger helper, to each their own. I mean, honestly, if I have the time, it doesn't take that long with a can of tomatoes. If you can find a can of unmolested tomatoes, I appreciate it, Ace. But it doesn't need to be super fancy. Got some Jimmy Dean's breakfast sausage. Serving size is 2 ounce or 210 calories. Of those, 170 are them delicious fat type of calories. So let's make sure we go ahead and get 2 ounces there. Just a little bit of oil to get it started. You don't need it, but because when it inevitably sticks to the pan, one, it's flavor, and two, eventually you're going to throw in tomatoes in there and they'll bring all that flavor back into the dish. Oh, what's going on, George? Glad to see you. No, you didn't get timed out unless you said something that I missed and somebody else got you. So you can see what you're working with here. Well, I'm going to need some utensils here. I'm going to have to make a kitchen run here in a second. Yeah, the pan's up to temperature. We'll turn it down a little bit to a medium low. I'll be back. Thick spaghetti, that'll work. I don't play that game, Terry. If you gotta ask for modship, you don't get it. The rules are the rules. Yeah. This is what 200 calories of sausage, breakfast sausage, looks like. Sugar's in the kitchen too. Well, we're gonna have to. Oh well. Like I said, George, if you gotta ask, it's not for you. That's what all the dictators say at the beginning, is that it's just temporary. I'm a student of history. I know things. Oh, I know. like in the movie Beer Fest when they're trying to recruit their friend to get into the competition. You gotta ask. It's not for you. Beverage of the night is water, also known as non-alcoholic Coors. Whatever, good recovery drink, you know. I'm not trying to wake up tomorrow with a hangover, so rehydrating. It's out on the boat for a long day out in the sun, so I probably should just get a mug of water here, and I'll do that the next time I'm in the kitchen. Coors Edge, you got me. My dream is to get sponsored by one of these non-alcoholic beer companies and then just show up and rip through a 30-pack. I don't know if it's new, Ashley. It's just a non-alcoholic Coors or whatever. If you're counting calories, it's not bad. There's only 41 calories in it, but you might as well just drink water. The dogs are chilling. They're just chilling on the couch. I mean, it's not really going to brown all that much. Low temperature with onions, it's more steaming, but handcuffs are handcuffs. We're going to get a couple of cloves of garlic chopped up. Oh, I appreciate it, George. I'm not going to grate it. Ooh, this one's going to peel nice and easy. But you're just going to chop it up anyways. Let's give it a little bit of a crush. And then watch how quickly the peel comes off. I mean, if you're chopping it up anyways, And, giving it a little bit of crush will help it release some of its juices or whatever. But honestly, if you really wanted to disintegrate into the sauce, just grate it. Oh, thank you, George. And I do appreciate the cross flow. And you could for sure use a paring knife for this, but why would I when I use this knife for at least 85% of my chopping needs? One good chef's knife is really pretty much all you need for 90% of the scenario. It's got a little bit of browning on it. Onions are softening up a little bit. So let's go ahead and throw the garlic in there. And then once the garlic really starts to smell garlicky, visuals are amazing. Thank you, Sherry. Oh, well, you know, it's kind of because you're a self-defeating incel, real deal, you know. If you stop being so negative on yourself, you know, it wouldn't be such a self-fulfilling prophecy, buddy. Fucking tell yourself you're good at something and, you know, it might work out a little bit better. I don't think anybody's as hard on themselves or as hard on you, real deal, as you are on yourself, buddy. The garlic mix in there. And you definitely don't want to burn the garlic, but you can buy yourself a little bit of forgiveness if you keep moving it around, but I'll just give it, I don't know, 20-30 seconds before we add in the sauce. No, thank you, Terry. I was outside all day. Yeah, well, exactly. Right, he doesn't need to be shitting on himself all the time, though. You know, people get kind of tired of hanging around with people that shit on themselves all day, you know? You gotta be a little bit positive. Otherwise, you just drain the energy of the room, I mean. And not as, yeah, we got about half a jar left. Might as well use the whole thing. We'll go ahead and turn the heat down to low. I gotta get a check on where the pasta water is in the boiling, heating up process. Being that I used this sauce last night, I know it's gonna need a little bit more. A little bit of dry basil, probably plenty. Crack of black pepper, that's plenty. A little bit of chili powder, that's plenty. A little bit of salt. If I had red wine available open, I would put a dash of that in. Yeah. Go back. You don't need a whole ton of sugar, but you definitely need some. And make sure to taste your sauce, check the label, see how much bullshit's already in there. No, there's no cum or cumin going into this dish. I concur, real deal. You put cumin in there, it starts to taste Mexican-y. Yeah, good question, Terry. Just turn up the temperature on the stove in there, so hopefully my water will start to boil here soon. Always important, remember to taste test. That's fair, Ashley, but sometimes less is more. And I think cumin would, you know, you do you, but I'm not going to put it in. When I think Italian food, I don't really think of cumin. Maybe if you're looking for something very, very faint in the background, but Human? That sounds disgusting, Terrence, but good for you. And let that heat up, melt together. In no rush. Take your time, put stuff back in the refrigerator, clean up. Let's see what type of pasta we got here. Fettuccine, perfect. Pasta is pasta here. Cooking time, 12 to 13 minutes. Don't give a shit. I'll pull it out when it's al dente. But looking at this, serving size, 2 ounces, 200 calories. So that's one at every ounce is 100 calories of dry pasta here. So. Breaking out the food scale, alright? Zero it out. Say that's how much pasta I got. Not a whole shit ton, alright? It's 3.5. That's what 400 calories looks like. I hit the ceiling, you know. Who's hitting the ceiling? Do you think this is Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory or something? Yeah. Anyways, my water's heating up in the stove. Once that's boiling, we'll salt the water. Well, I'm almost out of salt. That's going to be a big problem tomorrow or so if I don't remember to get some. Yeah, or you just trust the box. I am sorry, but boiling water is boiling water the world over. And if you read the box, it says al dente perfection in 12 to 13 minutes. Trust the box. Barilla knows what they're talking about. When you salt the water, 11 minutes, 12 minutes will be perfect al dente. You know, trust the box. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. I mean, do you think Barilla, I've been making pasta for X number of years here, you think they would not know when the pasta is al dente? Do you think they would still be around if they were putting shitty directions on a box? And wouldn't it be great if every box came with directions? That would be helpful. All boxes and contents can be different. That's not a one solution for all. A is for Alfred. B is for bats. Okay. Name that in the video. No. You're breaking your teeth. It'd be like chewing on a tire. What's going on, Kakina? It'd be like chewing on a tire if you cook this for 8 minutes, alright? Trust the box. I think water boils at the same temperature and pasta cooks at the same rate in Canada as it does in Hawaii, you know? I'll get her going, Terry. Probably should start the pasta a little bit earlier, but yeah, well, I haven't started it yet here. You know, but we're still burning time for the chicken. I mean, chicken's not even halfway yet here. Yeah, well, you don't want to go into anything half-mast. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, make sure to stir it occasionally so they don't get anything sticking around the edges. And then before that, I'll add a bowl shape, half cup of this sauce. That's about 90 calories worth of tomato sauce. Give another 10, 15, 20 calories for a little bit of sugar we added, so we'll call it 100 calories for that. 200 calories for the sausage. We're up to 300, 400 calories right here. So that brings us up to 700, and we're going to put Parmesan cheese on it, so we'll bring it up to, we'll call this 800 calories and change, you know? Oh yeah. Hey, what's going on, Glenn? Welcome. That is a good question, George. We think the basement pervert Peter is into you, Glenn. Yeah, let's go check on our pasta. Alright, the pasta is in. And if you need to thin your sauce, if you're worried that you boiled it down too much and you don't like the texture, I might add a little bit of water to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that nice starchy pasta water when the pasta is almost done cooking. And that'll give it a nice texture. Well, it only takes one time, Peter, and then you're known as what you're known. I mean, what were you before? What were you in 79? Good for you, real deal. I might just be a lesbian trapped in a man's body. I don't know. Ooh, I don't know, Kikina. I don't spend much time down Waikiki. It's a nice place to walk around. There's a hibachi place, depending on what your budget is. And I think it's a little bit expensive to do it every time, but for a special occasion, there's a pretty good hibachi place right within the block that I would recommend, Kikina. But that's pretty much the only place I know down there. I don't get out much. Next thing we know, we're going to be asking for mother's maiden name, and we'll be halfway to do some identity theft. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Well, I'm pleased to see how you've adopted to trolling on the internet, Terry, when you didn't have to learn how to type with Mavis Beacon in elementary school. Peter's so old he remembers wanking it to magazines. Appreciate it. Thank you, Casey. He's probably sitting on like a multi-million-dollar collection of Playboy and vintage Hustlers. Yeah, well, I was in the top reading group, I'll have you know. I respect that. I respect that, Peter. You gotta play the cards you're dealt, though. I look forward to hearing about it, Kikino. I've gotten to the point where most of the time I'd rather just cook at home than go out. But yeah, Peter, you know, some of us have to live our best dumbass life, and right there with you. Oh shit! It's been a while since I've seen that name. That's a blast from the past. Yeah, Lamborghini chick. You know, that's a supermodel apparently. Yeah. How long are you in town for, Kikino? I thought we determined Powder Puff was a man. She said Sushi Channel read, "Are you good in bed?" Well, I mean, obviously, did you answer, Red? You know, how'd that conversation go, or how did it finish up? You know. Yeah, you know, you can't leave us on a cliffhanger. Jeez. The Lambo. Okay, well, I'll be around. Fair enough. Oh, yeah, no, sushi can be cold. You know, haven't you seen that episode of Sopranos when, you know, Tony's making fun of Junior for eating sushi? This is coming along nicely. Yeah, some things are better left up to the imagination, Terry. I concur. Yeah. Maybe Peter North knows. I mean, Peter North is quite experienced. He's done quite a lot of work in feature films. Speak for yourself, but yeah, probably the majority. And that's okay. It's alright being a dirty old man. We're not here to judge your lifestyle. Or 8 tracks or Betamax, or when they were trying to make Betamaxes a thing or whatever. Touche. Well, I stand here and talk to randos on the internet every day, cook my dinner, Terry. Judge away. If you think I haven't judged my own lifestyle, here we are. Yep, real deal couldn't resist that one. Touche. A long-time troll, Terry. A loyal time. Just for you, Terry. I remember things. Oh, look at the splatter pattern. That was a good one. Yeah. Good times never graduate. It's a mindset. Do you prefer the term dirty middle-aged man? Yeah, shit happens. I just got a little bit of that starchy pasta water. We're just gonna put a little bit in there just to thin it out, just because I like my texture a little bit more runny. I mean, if you like yours a little bit chunkier, be my guest, do your thing. But I like a little bit of flowing to my sauce, and I know that I'm going to put cheese in there as well, and that'll help thicken it up as well. That's my pasta, and my chicken's halfway done, so this will be fine. We'll just let it chill here for a while. We'll drain the pasta, pull the chicken out, uncover it. We got some things to do. We'll be back. Pasta good to go, steaming. We'll set that off to the side. Have a hot plate for these exact scenarios. The thicker? Yeah, we'll give it away, Kikina. I do love thick. I have no proof, Oh God. Here's Real Deal asking for nudies. Good for him. Okay, guys, let's do a little bit of a progress check here. So the chicken's obviously not done yet. It's been in the oven at 400 for, I don't know, 40 minutes or so. Now it's going back in the oven at 400 uncovered for another 40 minutes here. So there we got it. Alright. My sauce to noodle ratios, what a mess. Oh, cheers, Pirate Bourbon. How are you? Noodle to sauce ratio is a little off. Maybe not. It'll be about right. I'll just mix that in. Then I'll go get some Parmesan cheese and grate it over the top here. Oh yeah. It's also good when they eat Kikina. Yep, another 40 minutes at 400 for the chicken. But, you know, the first 40 minutes the chicken was covered, you know. I need my cheese grater. Where's that at? Prefer the box grater, but microplaner will work. What I miss? You like when girls actually eat? Yeah. I mean, I like when they eat normal portions. You know. I feel like this is a little bit of a trap question there, and I also like it when they're fit and active, go hiking. When they go to the beach and they actually get in the water. Who would have thought? You go to the beach and you actually get in the water, you know? Kind of red flag if you go to the beach and don't get in water, you know? I don't know. I'm looking for somebody that lives a healthy lifestyle. Because I know I'm out of shape and fat right now. I'm working to get in better shape. And I want somebody to do fun things like ski and be outdoors and, you know, shit like that. You know, I ain't trying to Netflix and chill for the rest of my life, you know? Mix in some more cheese. But no, I don't think anybody has ever taken a girl on a date and said, "Oh my God, she ordered an entree and actually ate it. How terrible! I gotta dump her ass." No, that doesn't happen. What pisses us off is when you don't order anything and you try to eat all our food. You know, I ordered my entree. Order yours, honey. Ooh, we can share. You know, no, order your own damn meal. You know, I'm paying for the meal anyways. You know, what's your hesitation here? Don't eat all my food. I'm hungry. Disney Plus sucks. Well, shit. That's probably why you're an incel, real deal. And just if somebody's not hungry, that's okay. But you know, if she's keeping you good company or whatever, that's great. But if she only wants a small side salad and then tries to eat your whole meal, I'm gonna be bitter about it. You know. Yeah, well, what did Ernie say, George? Yeah. You eat this whole thing, that's about 800 calories, so if you counted. Good for you. She wanted the environment. Don't complain about getting a date if you're gonna ghost somebody and just ditch them for, you know, what they order at a restaurant. I mean, that's like if she ditched you because you ordered a steak, you know? You gotta give each other grace, people. Unless it's egregious, if you take somebody out on a date, you gotta play it through, you know? You gotta at least finish the date, you know? Give it a chance. And then you say, okay, this ain't gonna go anywhere. Thank you for the evening, and you go on your separate ways, you know? If you're not willing to gamble, you know, 2 hours of your time, you know, you probably shouldn't be going on a date in the first place, you know? You already got a babysitter, you already got a dog sitter, whatever. Yeah. Aww. That's nice. Mm-hmm. Where's a fork? Damn it. This is about half, so I might save that for tomorrow's lunch, actually. Well, that's one strategy, Peter North. Yeah. Oh, that was nice. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the game, Glenn. You're either in the game or you're out of the game, and nobody's forcing you to play tennis, But if you want to play tennis, you have to play tennis. No, thank you, real deal. Just simple. I guess garlic, breakfast sausage, onion, store bought tomato sauce, and season it how you like. Pretty simple. I can't say I do, Peter. Yeah, well, some people are into old saggy balls, real deal. You just gotta find them. And then not leave them at the restaurant when they order a salad. That ain't exactly a power move to a girlfriend. And you're single now or not? That could have been the one. Yeah, you had bad karma for a while after leaving somebody at a restaurant. I hope you both at least met at the restaurant. Yeah, I mean, doing things alone definitely is an adjustment if you're used to doing it with a partner or a group. But I'm glad you're getting out and doing things, Kikino. We do like lower taxes. Yeah, legalized theft is what it is. Can't win them all, Terry. Don't get blown away by a tornado. Nah, I don't know, addicts. You got Ghost up there. You don't want to live with Ghost. And half of that was enough to fill me up here, so wieners are good. You know, they're around, but let's go ahead and make lunch for tomorrow here. Chicken's still in the oven. Whatever, that's fine now. Well, while we're at it, let's go ahead and make lunch for tomorrow. I am also here for the cooking, Glenn. But we do have to accept reality. And it's, you know, it's like Bud Light. You gotta know who your core audience is. Welcome all, but don't insult your core audience. Broccoli, let's preheat that. I don't really need to preheat it, but it'll work. Have the checkout of the 4 kids, you know. I got half a crown of broccoli. You've seen me do this before. I'm going to keep most of the florets together. Unfortunately, I do have a microwave at work, so this is going to be a microwave meal for tomorrow. That'll be good. We'll see if we get to the crab cakes or not. Anyways. You don't have to throw in a tablespoon of butter. Wieners! Salt, a little bit of garlic powder in there with it. Make sure to season it up. Yeah, you can do that, Peter North. I'm not trying to eat the shaft. Yeah, Peter North does have a crush on the gay guy Glenn. I don't think that much is, I don't know if it's obvious, but there's definitely a pattern. Well, thank you, Katina. I hope you have a great... How the hell did that one get in there? I hope you have a great day. Sleep as well. Alright, we got that. Just saw a lid for that can. I don't know where I put it. Huh. Well, I'll just go grab another one. Oh, here it is. A little bit of water in. That was probably a little too much water, but guess what? I'll be fine. What's going on, Diana? How you doing? Late night cooking conspiracy. Well, I'm waiting for the chicken to finish roasting, and now I'm just meal prepping. So I got the leftover pasta for lunch tomorrow. We'll steam this broccoli for a couple minutes, and it'll be. Well, I don't know. Maybe I would be, Terry. Maybe I would be. What do you think? See, all the good stuff's already gone. Maybe, if you're lucky. You gotta pay extra for that privilege, Peter. Jesus. You gotta ask, you can't afford it. Alright. Those are steamed nicely. And now to get all that. Yeah, I already got plenty of the butter flavor cooking in it. So we'll try to leave some of that in the pan. Set that down there. And then to make sure the broccoli is still good tomorrow here, we're just going to grate some Parmesan cheese over it. And since we're here, we might as well grate some Parmesan over the pasta. And just mix that through the broccoli so all of it gets a little bit. Get on your side of the fence. Alright, that's a lunch. Lunch is whatever time I decide lunch is. Kind of set my own hours, it's kind of nice. Yeah. Let's go check out the refrigerator and see what else we can do to burn time until the chicken comes out of the oven here. I can do some more meal prep. So let's see, 1 egg, crab, it's a pound. this is pound Worcestershire sauce. Fuck it, we're using soy instead. 1/4 teaspoon of dry mustard. We're gonna skip that. 2 tablespoons of mayo, lemon, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, mustard, melted butter, parsley flakes, seasoning, breadcrumbs. All right, we're in business. You know what? Time to buy some loyalty. Yeah, well, I don't, because it came in a glass bottle and I knocked it off the shelf. It broke. I stepped on the glass. And then I said, no, we ain't doing this again. So let's see. All right, mayo. That chicken's taking a lot longer to cook than I expected, so probably should have just cooked it uncovered the whole time. I'm gonna wipe off a bowl and then we'll get started. Mine's a plastic. Well, maybe I'll reconsider a plastic bottle then. Night, Red. got a mess going on here, so let's go ahead, make some space. Good night, Red. Mm-hmm. Where did my can opener go? Can openers around here somewhere. This is why you keep organized so you can find your damn can opener when you need it. There's a peeler. There we go. So open your crab here. Interesting whiteout. You always never cease to amaze me with your weird shit. Go ahead and make sure that I drain the crab juice. Well, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot. Probably could have done that straight into the trash. Apparently this is premium crab, pasteurized. We'll see Phillips crab. What taste test? It's alright. Not the best canned crab I ever had, not the worst. We'll see how it works out. I know I'm going to take some liberties with this recipe, though. That goes in. Come back to that pan. What's next? Says an egg. Okay, I can do an egg. Egg in. It's easy. Two teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Well, closest I got is Chinese takeout soy sauce package. We're gonna use 2 of these, you know. No, it says it's real crab. 1. That's probably enough, but worst case scenario, it's a little bit salty. And it goes. That's probably way too much soy, but you know, maybe they'll be Asian crab cakes. Who cares? Dry mustard. Don't have any dry mustard. 2 tablespoons of mayo. We got that. It's 1, 2. Yeah, we'll call that 2 tablespoons. Yeah. So next time here, 2 tablespoons mayo, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Good thing I softened her up in against the wall. Ain't that right, Terry? But this will have the perfect amount. Yeah, I'm sure that's a teaspoon, right? Probably not, but that's whatever. One tablespoon of mustard. Okay, did not specify what type of mustard. We're going with a classic yellow mustard, alright? Oh, you gotta shake it. You don't want mustard juice. That's a tablespoon, yeah. Alright, 1 tablespoon melted butter. Good thing I know how to do that. It's pasteurized, so I would assume that means cooked. Ingredients: crab, sodium acid, phosphate. Okay, so not much. 2 ingredients. That's usually pretty good. I get the bullshit out of the pan. Let's go ahead. We need a tablespoon of melted butter. Usually the package has some lines on it for the tablespoon. I'm going to go a little bit over a tablespoon because I know that I will lose some of the butter will stay in the pan. So let's go ahead and turn that on. You know. Yeah, we'll see, you know. Melt. What's next here? While that melts, 1 teaspoon of parsley. Where'd those scissors go? Got some fresh-ish parsley. I'm going to try to get all leaves and no shaft here. So I'm just going to take the time. And I definitely prefer, you know, turn your heat down on the butter melting. You don't want to burn it. Burnt butter wouldn't taste very good here. Get this, and we'll just mince this up real good. That's a teaspoon of parsley, I think. I mean, it said dried parsley with the flavor can be more concentrated in the dried, so I think that's plenty of parsley in there. Melted butter in. Turn your stove off. Yeah, well, look at that, or I went to the grocery store and I didn't know what to get. Put a lot of stuff in there. It says half cup of breadcrumbs. You know, this is kind of your measure. This is a half cup. So you could just eyeball it and it'll be fine. Yeah, Maryland blue crab is absolutely phenomenal. I got family out that way. And I am a big fan. But here I am making crab cakes with, you know, bullshit, you know, pasteurized crab from the grocery store in a can. So, we'll see. But truth be told, if you're making crab cakes and you're putting a bunch of bullshit in it, you probably don't need the highest quality of crab. Half cup of breadcrumbs. I'm using panko. You can definitely use your favorite Italian breadcrumbs or whatever. According to the can, I don't need yeast, and I don't even know if I have yeast in my refrigerator there, but it says 1 teaspoon of Phillips seafood seasoning. What obviously that means Old Bay, but What does the yeast do in the crab cake whiteout? We'll call that a teaspoon. Now we gotta mix it all up, yeah? Get a little pasta sauce off your spoon or whatever you're using to mix it. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Nice and crunchy. Alright. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but we're gonna go with what we know here. Trust the random seafood recipe off the back of a can. We'll mix it up. We'll see what it looks like and evaluate our life choices from there. How does that sound? Alright. So chicken's done at it's done in an hour 20. I'm gonna go take a look at it, see how it looks. Hoping I don't dry it out, but because I think I cooked it with the cover on for the first 40 minutes, I think it'll be fine. But it definitely needs a little bit more time for the skin to crisp up. I'm not adding any salt because I got plenty of salt when I added the soy sauce or Worcester sauce. But definitely give it a taste, and if you think it needs more salt, add a little bit. I think this recipe has too much breadcrumb for filler, but we'll see how they toast up. Or maybe it's because I use crunchy breadcrumbs. I don't think these are gonna be my best work crown crab cakes, but worst case scenario, I'll feed it to the co-workers or something. Yeah, well, let me know where to find some beaver, and I'll be all over it. I don't exactly sell beaver tail in the grocery store. Making way too many dirty dishes. Huh, yeah, well, you know, maybe George can hook us up. Alright. Before I start, my hands are clean. I just washed them. Hey, what's up, Angela? I'm just gonna oil my hands or whatever, and this should help prevent some of the sticking. Yeah, some of the crab will still stick, but it'll help a little bit. Oh, that's good to know, Peter. Good to know. Now, all what I'm going to do is take a handful, make little golf ball size crab cakes here. I'm going to give them a little bit of a press, get some of the moisture out there. Angela, just don't be so annoying. But, you know, I might as well oil the tray don't need a ton. I guess you could put them on parchment paper or something like that, but who wants to do that? What's up, real deal? Angela, I really don't care. Don't be annoying. Now, the important part here is to make them all the same size, and that way they cook at roughly the same rate. They're same size and same density. They'll cook pretty evenly. But you don't want to pack. One, you don't want to push out all the moisture. And two, you don't want it to be denser because that'll adjust cooking time. Damn it, I screwed up. I was gonna put cheese in it, but we'll try it without cheese. Well, I guess we can try half the batch with mozzarella. Because you spam. Nobody likes people who spam. Anytime you say, oh, do you remember me? Are you going to ban me again? That's spam. Yeah, those four will be without mozzarella. These four will be. So that's kind of the Phillips recipe right there, and this is a Phillips plus. Yeah, see, now you're spamming again, just like that. That's a Phillips recipe, and now this is the Phillips recipe plus mozzarella. I think the cheese will be nice. There. See you later, Angela. Oh, that's right, the simp. You tell her. Yeah, I mean, a pound of crab, an egg, I mean, 5 crab cakes, so breadcrumbs is a filler, so maybe 3 ounces per crab cake or so. Kind of pissed. I was gonna put Parmesan cheese in with them, but I kind of forgot. But we're not gonna cook these tonight, but we are going to throw them in the refrigerator. And I think they'll be fine keeping until tomorrow. I'll bake them at work. See how. Yeah, well, spammers are spammers. I don't care how old you are. If you're spamming, you annoying, and you know what you're doing. And if you're not old enough to know that you're spamming, then sorry about your luck. I'm not trying to talk to 12-year-olds on here. Yeah, maybe not, but the nice thing about you having a job is you don't need to put up with spam. You know what? And I think I'll take these in and cook them on lunch break, Yeah. Oh, what I miss. Yeah, jobs are nice. So I got some more meal prep to go here. I'm gonna flip the board over so it's clean, so I have a limited amount of bullshit on here. Or cleaner. I'm gonna cut up this pineapple and we're gonna freeze it. So then I have, cold pineapple for morning smoothies. So I can make kind of like a tropical smoothie in the morning with Greek yogurt. Quick, easy, healthy. Go around the outside and taking the skin off. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a more efficient way to do this, but this is how I do it, and guess what? It works. Imported, I don't know, it's from the Dole plantation. I've been there. Literally, I picked it up off the side of the road in front of the Dole plantation. So it is important. They were trying pretty hard to disguise it, you know? The simp. I ain't simping for views. I'd rather just have silence than have to wade through spam. You know, I like talking to people, but no, I'm not airborne. Well, hate to break it to you, but you know, 1 out of 10 people you'll meet will just not like you for whatever reason. Welcome to the real world. Oh, you really got me going. You're the same person that made fun of me. You know, they got all upset and was like, "Oh, how dare you be so mean to my kid that you know I don't have parental controls on my tablet," and they get on. You know, probably do better in your reading group if you didn't stay up so late. You know, middle school's a tough time. I know. Yeah. I don't think you can just go in a laboratory and make a man. Okay. So now I'll have frozen pineapples for, that's nice. Keep spreading the aloha, honey. Just like your good vibes on the internet. I'm going to pop this in the freezer, and that way I have frozen pineapple for smoothies for this week's morning. No, yeah, I do. It's healthy. You should try it. Yeah, and that's nice. Hey, we know you're a 12-year-old boy, Angela. Chill out. Ain't that the truth, simp? Even worse, buddy. Checked it with the thermometer. It's done. Yeah, that's nice, buddy. You know what? I think we've had enough.
Yeah, well,
If anybody loved you, you want to be on YouTube at 3 a.m. So, ciao. I think we're done with you. Alright. So, I'm just going to leave this chicken be. I'm going to cut it up as a. Yeah, tell me I'm wrong. Real deal. Yeah, we had enough of her. But, so that's the chicken here. Chicken's done. I think next time I do it in this oven, if I do it at 400 degrees, I'm going to try cooking it uncovered and see how it does. I was hoping the skin would get a little bit crispier, but that's all right. Hopefully it's still moist inside. I don't know. Nah, just chicken. Yeah. Nothing gets me going like 10-year-olds on the channel, you know. I think we could do without them. But we'll just let the chicken rest a little bit. Start cleaning up, and yeah, call it a night. Got a bunch of pans to. I think I use every dish I own today halfway, you know. But should be pretty good. But I usually don't try to meal prep for more than a meal or two or a day or two at a time. But here, this is what you get for $10 in Hawaii. You get 2 breasts, 2 leg and thighs, combos, wings. So 1 meal, 2 meal, 3 meal, 4 meal, and I guess the 2 wings are snacks. So let's say 4 meals worth of chicken, and then plus you get the carcass and the scraps to do whatever you want with it. If you want to use the chicken fat in the bottom of the pan for, you know, cooking potatoes or whatever, you definitely could, or you could just make a gravy with it. I mean, you have a lot of options. But, you know, choices. Yeah, just made some little quick pasta for dinner and missed some meal prep dinners. Not a whole lot. What did I miss? Yeah, the simp. Yeah, I mean, the skin's not as crispy as I like, but, you know, I put the meat thermometer in it, and it was, you know, I put it in the middle of the thigh, and it was, I don't know, 180. So I'm a little bit afraid that I actually overcooked it, but I am confident that I'm not getting salmonella, simp. Also, next time I do a chicken, I might try it in this pan, see if there's any difference in that. But I want to do it again in one of these roasters just for a baseline. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, real deal. That's true. I mean, but I'm gonna cut it up and use it in meals, so I'm probably gonna repurpose it anyways. So if I need to recook it a little bit more later, I will. But see, everybody not gonna die. 165. 169. 162. There we go. 171. So yeah, chicken's done. They'll be just fine. Roosters are cool. Yeah, kind of like the lower. I thought this was a roaster. Maybe not. But yeah, that'll be good. Just for to store it in the fridge, I am going to throw it in here. I'm not going to butcher up until probably tomorrow. So if you're waiting for that, sorry about your luck. It ain't coming tonight. We also tried the crab cake recipe on the back of the can of crab, so looking forward to trying those tomorrow as well. Good for you, Simp. I didn't need to think about that. And you definitely are a basement weirdo. And nobody wants to see your search history. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess the wings stuck to the bottom of the pan. Or the side of the pan, actually. But I think we'll eat these tonight. I'm sure those will be good. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with all this chicken fat, but I'm gonna drain it and save it. I know that. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Or cooked in that and then put it in the refrigerator like that. You know, it's more of a space thing. And I wanted to cook in that one, but that's not bad. But I'm gonna save this fat, cook it. Let's see. I'm gonna enjoy the wings. Yeah, either gravy or I'm either gonna make gravy out of it or just fry potatoes in it. Come on, Simp. You know, don't be weird. You gotta pay the wiener tax, of course. It's tough to be fresh wings. All right, it's bedtime for me. But that chicken is phenomenal. healthy, economical chicken meals for me this week. Ciao, y'all.
Good night, Glenn.